Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sunday Tea Time with Danica. And this time, I am coming to you live from Budapest, Hungary. Yes, I am finally on my trip, and I do have tea, which is a whole funny story. But so let's just get started. So first of all, this is what I love about coming to most places in Europe, because in the hotel room, look what they have, this beautiful giant kettle. And so I don't have to travel with a kettle because they have it for me. And so here I am with my tea. Very happy. The room, they have a nice stock of tea and instant coffee. My disappointment in that, at least today, is that this is the decaf tea that they had available. It's rooibos and apple. And so I'm a tea lover, but for whatever reason, I just don't like the taste of rooibos. I've never been able to get into it. Every blend that has it in it, it'll be tasty. And then I'm like, ooh, there's something weird in it. And then come to find out it has rooibos in it. So I'm just not really a rooibos person. And usually what I do is my first day in Budapest, I usually do some shopping for things that I need in my room. And one of the things that I do is our hotel is just down the street from the mall. And in the mall's here, there's a grocery store in the basement of the mall. And so what I usually do is I walk to the mall, I go to the grocery store, I buy tea and, a few little things to have in the room. And today I did not do that. I missed that part of my routine, which I thought was going to be okay. And then I kind of regretted it once I got back to my room. So for those of you in my normal time, it's 2 p.m. Here in Budapest, it's 10 p.m. And so at this point, everything is closed, particularly on a Sunday. A lot of things are closed on Sundays here, and there are a few places open, but they do tend to do reduced hours. But also, I don't know of any grocery store that's open until 10, to be honest. Definitely not a place where you're going to find a ton of things open. We joke, my coworker and I, we often, me and some people I work with will go out for drinks or something in the evenings. And one year, my boss, big football fan, that would be European football, also known as soccer in America, but he wanted to go watch the match. His big match was on. I have no idea what, I was just happy to go hang out with the team. And so he found a bar that was playing the match. And here, the bars don't generally serve food. So like if you go to a bar for drinks and it's just a bar to go and drink and watch the game, they don't have food. And so we agreed that when the match was over, we would go get some food. And we were drinking. I was drinking on an empty stomach, which is never a good idea for me. And I'm starving. And so by the time the match was over, there are only two places in this neighborhood open that late at night: McDonald's and what my coworker calls the sketchy kebab place. Sketchy kebab place is a different story for later, but McDonald's is so in this area of Budapest, there are two McDonald's that are open late. One, I think, closes around midnight, and then the other one is open much, much later because that might be 24 hours, but it's the only one in the city. And I just remember that because, again, on another trip, me and a bunch of people, we were out. It was very late. It was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I forget who was with us, but they wanted French fries. And so we went ahead and we went and got French fries, and we had to go to this one particular McDonald's because it's the only one that was open that late. So anyway, all that to say, this neighborhood, 2 restaurants open late. And so that night after the match, we did go to McDonald's. And, you know, McDonald's in other countries is very different. And this is no exception. So it was nice to get to try McDonald's. And so now that does sometimes end up being like our late night snacky thing that if we're hungry, we do. Although there was one night we were going to go out and my boss was like, oh my gosh, you're not making me go to McDonald's again, are you? And I'm like, no, I just want food. So what's open? And we did find something open that we could all go to and eat. But the sketchy kebab place, that is just a funny story because, again, this is what my coworker who lives here calls it. I actually don't even remember where it's at. I think I could get you there, but it's like down a back street, down a back alley, and I'm pretty sure it's not on Google Maps as sketchy kebab place. But anyway, he basically said, we can eat here, but it's going to either be fine or you're going to be shitting yourself for days. And fortunately, I was fine. So, but apparently some people do or have gotten sick eating there. I did not. It was actually really good. So I would probably eat at the sketchy kebab place again if I remember where it was. Or maybe I wouldn't be lucky the next time. So maybe it's good I don't remember it because there are a lot of really great kebab places here. So that's something I'm hoping to enjoy while I'm here. So I left Denver at 11 a.m. on Saturday. I flew to Toronto. I had a 2-hour layover. And then I flew overnight to Budapest. Got here at 9 o'clock in the morning. For those of you who are going to Europe this summer, please, 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 I know they say it in the news, please plan on giving yourself lots of time to get through customs. I knew this. And I have been through Hungarian customs before. And it's always been a breeze. I was just telling my coworker this tonight because his parents came to visit him and they had similar issue to what I did. Is it took 2 hours to get through customs, and part of it was the little hand scanner thingy wasn't working, so it took us like 5 minutes to get it to work. And it was nothing I was doing wrong. It was just the dude was like, I don't know why this isn't working. Let's try this. Let's do that. Blah blah blah. And I just realized like the shade is giving me like a funny look on my face. So I've got weird shadows, and that's okay. A very, very imperfect time here. Let's see if I can show you my room a little bit. There's my couch with all my junk. There's my bed. I'm at the desk. There's the door and the bathroom. And you can kind of see my clothes hanging out over there. And where my clothes hanging out over there is a little shelf, and that's where they have all the tea stuff. And just to be clear, all of you germaphobes out there, yes, this is the hotel mug that was in the hotel room. And yes, I washed it before I used it. I will say the housekeeping staff here is great. I know they do a good job of keeping everything clean, particularly at this hotel. Our company has a contract with them. So every time we have meetings here, this is where we stay. It's very convenient to where we hold our meetings and convenient part of town. It's a 5-minute walk to public transportation. Like I said, the mall is just down the street. Literally, if I took you out right now, you could see the mall right from here. So super, super convenient area. It's my favorite part of town in terms of staying and just for convenience. And so I'll be here all week for work. And then I'm going to Lake Balaton for the weekend. And then I'm coming here for one night for a concert. And I didn't choose to stay at this hotel, but I'm staying at one just down the street from here. I think this hotel was booked. I don't remember why I ended. Oh, I know why I chose the other hotel. So this is an actual proper hotel. The other hotel is more of an Airbnb thing, and they have laundry facilities. And anytime I can snag one of those, considering I did manage to do this whole trip, you guys, I did it with a carry-on and my backpack. And so I will be doing laundry a lot while I'm here. So I figured, any chance I get to stay at a place that has a laundry in the unit, I'm going to do it. So it was a little bit cheaper, and I'm getting laundry. So even though I love this hotel, it is a great hotel. I highly, highly recommend it. Here, it's called the BO18 Hotel. Actually, I think the official title is BO18 3-star superior. And I really like it. It's the staff is great. In fact, when they checked me in today, the dude recognized me. He was like, "Hey, you're back. It's been a while." And we just got to chatting, and he's like, "Yeah, I need your ID and your credit card and all, all the stuff you do when you check in." And we were just shooting the breeze. And I told him thank you in Hungarian. I said, "Köszönöm." And he was like, "Oh my goodness, you even say it right." And it was just so fun that it's a very, I don't know if it's a family run hotel, but like the staff kind of have that family vibe of, it's literally been the same dude at check-in every year for me for the past 4 years or 3 years, however long we've been staying at this particular hotel. And then they have a great breakfast. I'm looking forward to the breakfast in the morning. It is my favorite breakfast besides a full English breakfast. Don't fight me on this, people. Full English breakfast is the best. And yes, I love black pudding. Yeah, I'm not sure I love this, but I will drink a little more of it tonight before bed. So this may be of interest to those of you traveling. I mentioned this in my last live that the Danica plan for beating jet lag is Xanax. My doctor recommended it. She prescribes it. I did a test run. I slept great. Let me tell you about my experience with this as I was traveling. So I got on the plane from Toronto to Budapest, and they served dinner. I ate my dinner. I took my Xanax. I watched like 10 minutes of a movie, and then I went to sleep. I slept until after they served breakfast in the morning. And so they just turned on they just started like cleaning up, and we're getting ready for landing when I woke up. That is how well I slept. I woke up feeling rested, and it was great because, there we were in this customs line literally for 2 hours. And like, you have all these cranky jet lag people, and I felt great, honestly. I was super happy with how that went, although I still had a jet lag plan. And this time, because my flight got in at 9 o'clock in the morning, I knew I would have to really force myself to stay awake longer. Because despite the good sleep I did get on the plane, I basically got 5.5 hours of sleep. So not great for functioning, but it'll be fine. And anyway, I got to the hotel. My intention was I was going to just drop my bags, and I had a bunch of stuff in my backpack because I was going to go to one of the thermal baths. That was my beat jet lag plan, is if I could go to the thermal bath, I could soak and then lay out in the sun and relax. And I was going to see if they had a massage available. And then like that would give me like a little cat nap, but I wouldn't be able to sleep because obviously I'm at a big giant pool with a bunch of people. So I get to the hotel. Like I said, the guy totally we had a great conversation, and that was even before he looked up all my information. So, I mean, that's pretty cool that, I think this is maybe like the 7th time that I've stayed here. No, 6, 7, something like that. I don't remember. But point being, like, he recognized me, and we had a nice conversation, and he's like, actually, your room is ready. So here's your key. Which was great because I got here at about noon, and I put my stuff in the room. I went ahead and unpacked because I was feeling really good, and I got my little bag ready to go to the thermal baths, which was nice because I got to pack things and be more thoughtful about it as opposed to jamming stuff in my suitcase and trying to remember stuff before I left. So I packed all that, and then I realized I had forgotten something, so I walked over to the mall, and I purchased one of the things I forgot. And I was walking to go to the tram, and I was like, oh no, I don't have sunscreen. So I walked back to the mall and I bought sunscreen. And then I went back to the tram. I was like, okay, now I can go. And that might have been, what I should have done, because this is what I normally do, is I go to the grocery store and buy all the stuff. But I didn't want to buy a bunch of stuff, take it back to the room, and then go. I just wanted to go because I was afraid the more time I spend in my room, the more tempted I am to take a nap. And that's one of the biggest jet lag tips I can give you is, if at all possible, avoid being in your room where you're tempted to take a nap. Like I said, going to the thermal baths was okay because I did doze off on the sunny lounge chair for a little bit, but I just kind of dozed off. I didn't have like a full-on sleep. And I did manage to get a massage appointment. It was lovely. I dozed off a little bit during the massage too, but nothing like heavy sleep that's going to ruin my sleep for tonight. Just a little cat nap to get me through. And so yeah, I went on the tram. I took the tram and a bus, and so it was really good because I got back into the groove of being in Budapest, doing the public transportation, which I love here. And it's so cool. Look at that. Like I've got like a little streetcar in my photo in my room. And so it's just fun. The thermal baths were really nice. So my goal is to try all the different ones here in Budapest. Budapest is famous for its thermal baths. I highly recommend doing that, but that's my jam. However, what I will say is most of the time I'm disappointed because I'm used to the hot springs in Colorado, which are super hot. And the thermal baths here are just like bath water. And that to me is not warm enough. I want hot, hot. And so this one was really nice because they had two pools that were almost too hot. And then they had a bunch of cooler pools, but I never found the one that was just right. But it was still a great way to spend the afternoon. I got there, I got checked in. I did not get a lot of pictures, so I did get a few that I'll post later on Substack. But the Turkish baths in particular, they don't want cameras or anything in there. So it was really beautiful because it was this beautiful Turkish bath. And it had this really lovely like dome that had all these little colored light things in it. It was so beautiful. They weren't lights. It was more like colored glass that the light was coming through. So it was great. And I think this is going to be my new beat jet lag thing because I wasn't pushing myself. A lot of times to beat jet lag, what I'll do is I'll go out and I'll just walk the city and I'll tour all these places. And by the end of the day, I'm so exhausted. I'm incoherent. I don't even remember what I saw or what I did. And I still don't sleep really well. So this, I think, was really nice because I got to go and soak. I also had lunch there, which was really great. It was burger and fries, which is weird because I feel like that's really stereotypical American to go get burger and fries. And I try not to do those things, but it just sounded pretty good to me. And a lot of people there have burger and fries, so it's fine. I worry too much about that stuff sometimes, but it was just great. I had a burger and fries. I had my lunch. I checked out all the pools. I did the Goldilocks thing to find my favorite one. I did the different steam and saunas that they have. They also have, which I haven't ever done, is a salt cave kind of thing. And it's just this room. It's all covered in salt. And that was great. I did that too. Like I said, my massage was great. And then when I was done for the day, I got a message from one of my coworkers saying, hey, I'm running out to get some dinner. Do you want to join me? And so I met up with him. We had pizza. And I don't remember what my pizza was called or what it was, but what sold me on the pizza was it had honey on it. And I didn't taste the honey. It was still really good. To me, it was just like a spicy pepperoni pizza. But it was delicious. And I have half of it in my fridge. I have also got a little tiny baby mini fridge. So I have my leftovers in my fridge for later. And so, yeah, that is the start of my trip. Like I said, I feel really good. It is after 10 now. What I'm going to do is my feel safe. I'm going to go ahead and just go to bed and get up tomorrow, have my breakfast, go downstairs, get the breakfast, and then come back up and work for a little bit and see where all that goes. But right now, things are really good. I'm really happy. And let me know in the comments. And what are your questions about Budapest? It was pretty fun, just sitting there, even at the bus stop earlier today, where there were some British tourists who were really confused, and just able to point them in the right direction and things like that. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm practically a native. I know these things. And even, when I'm standing in the 2-hour customs line, there were a bunch of people there who were here for the first time and everything. And so like, oh no, what about this? So I was able to share what I know about Budapest, and it was so fun. I really do feel like this has become my second home, and still a lot more to learn. The pizza place we went to was in my coworker's neighborhood, which is not a neighborhood I had explored much further in than we had gone. Usually I go like a block or two in this neighborhood, and this time we went further in, and so that was really nice. And I got to see this beautiful garden. It was dark, so I didn't take any pictures, but definitely something I want to come back to and check out again. And I was texting with a friend, letting him know I was here safely and all that, and what I had been up to. And he was like, do you think you're ever going to get bored? And, I've lived in Denver for over 30 years. And I'm not bored with it yet. Like, there's still a million things I can see and do in Denver, and things I still love to do, even though I've done them a million times. And that's how I feel about being in Budapest. Like, there's so many neat things to see and do, and things that I would do again and again because I enjoy them so much. So, like I don't think I'm going to get bored with it, because I really do love it here, and I love this place, and I love to travel, and I love that I get to bring you all with me. So thank you for joining me today. And like I said, if you have questions or there's anything you want to see or hear about, let me know. Next week's Tea Time with Danica, I will actually be at Lake Balaton, and I'm not sure at what part of that day I will do it, but I will have some fun things about Balaton to share. And any questions that come in about Budapest, let me know, and I will answer them in that live video. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day. For those of you in Colorado, or just even in the US, you still have some more day left. Me, I'm all ready for bed. So good night, and I'll talk to you again soon.